Okay. Well, don't know what I'm doing here. One of these days I'll figure this out. Stop. Hey everybody, it's me, Ronnie. I'm back. Of course, it ain't been that long ago since I made a video. I'm trying to make a video once a week. Who knows? So, doing the best I can. Well, this is a continuation. I told you before that God put it on my heart to make a cross. Y'all saw me welding it, teaching myself how to weld. Alright, well this is the cross. I'm fixing to clean it up and paint it. Let's see if I can get a better view. Okay. Alright, as you can see, I have capped the ends. They don't look great. I'm still learning. But it's not bad. Okay. There's the ends. Now, here's where I welded it in. You can see up top. And I welded down low. I ground them off. Here's the other side. Now, you wouldn't pay to have somebody do these welds, but I will show you this. Now, as y'all can tell, I ain't no lightweight. I'm somewhere in a 380 or so pound range, maybe 4, I don't know. But I'm going to take and do something here. You see that? Alright, my floor is right there. They're still there. I can stand on it. Alright. So this weld has a little strength in it. Okay? I will only get better. Now I could probably do this much better, but I'd have to take and strip it back down. And I just feel like this should be an imperfect cross. And not because God is imperfect, but when Jesus was put on the cross, that was rough wood, round, square nails. You know, he did that for us. This cross has the blemishes. It absorbs the blemishes for us. That's what this cross does. This cross is more of a not memento, or that's the wrong word, a dedication to it. And this cross should not be perfect, at least not in my heart. If you build something and you think it should be perfect, go by all means. If I were going to try and build this for somebody, weld it, then yes, I might make it perfect. But I don't know. Because what it looks like to me, Jesus took our sins for us, into Him for us, so that we may have everlasting life. And that means He took the scourge. And look up the word scourging, what He endured. Look up the movie that Mel Gibson did, Passion of the Christ, and watch what he went through. And you'll see. And that's why I'm leaving this cross. 2 reasons. It lets me know how far I've come, but it also lets me know how much the Lord took for us. And that's why it's going to be like this. Now, I am not going to leave it looking like this. I am going to protect it. This is metal. I forgot what it is, but I've got to get all these stickers off. They put stickers everywhere in this thing when I ordered it. This was all just one piece of tubing. I cut it, I welded it. So, I'm very happy with it for what it is. Now, truthfully, you know, this is on, you can take and get on me all you want. This is my first time actually welding anything. The only thing I've ever welded before this, y'all saw on the screen when I was practicing welding. Okay, this is the first time I've actually made something. And I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, would I pay somebody for this? No, because, you know, that's a different story. Would I give this to somebody as far as if somebody wanted me to weld across? The only way I would give somebody a cross or something welded like this if I told them straight out that I don't know what I'm doing and this is what it's going to be. Whatever comes out is what it is, which I kind of like that, doing it in art and doing things. It reminds me of taking, and this reminds me that, you know, some things you can take and do. I'm losing my train, not losing my train of thought, but alternate. People want things too perfect. Okay? I don't want things perfect. I want things, unless they're supposed to be perfect. But when it comes to making art, you know, you've watched these people take and make pictures with splashing paint on things. Unbelievable. But I don't know how to do it. But, you know, can you imagine the people stopping and then taking and wiping the paint in and making it perfect, all one size? Have you ever looked at a painting in a museum that's hundreds of years old where they painted it and it's big globs of paint on there? Like a Michelangelo or anything like that. Picasso. It's because they glob it on. You can't see it until you get up close to it. That's the way this cross is. This cross is my dedication to the Lord. The Lord told me to make this cross. All right. Some of you have probably zoomed out or gotten out of this by now because you're tired of me preaching. I don't care. Sorry. Hopefully you'll come back to it. I do the same thing though, because you got to take and you got to take what is important to you as far as, do you need to hear the word? I needed to hear the word when I was deciding about this cross. I am serious about trying. I don't want to be a Cletus McFarland. I don't want to be anything other than what I am. I'm just going with what I'm doing. Would I like to make a living or money doing this? I would love it. Not gonna lie. And you hear people talk about, oh, they're just doing it for clicks. Yeah, I want you to click across. I want you to watch this. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I've never been good about liking and sharing and subscribe, because I always thought I'd be getting emails and everything. Oh, so and so just added a new video, and I already get enough spam crap as it is. So, anyways, I'm going to take now. You can stay with me, however you want to do it. I'm going to take and get these decals off, and then I'm going to take and sand this thing down, and I'm going to paint it white. Alright, why white? Because there should only be one color for a cross hanging on this wall. And it's not because I'm white, it's just because that's the way it be. It can't be black or rainbow. That's not Christ-like. White indicates purity. That's why this one's going to be white. So, without any further ado, this is what I've got to work with. Premium paint and epoxy remover. I bought this years ago when I was painting my house, and that sucker has been sitting a while. It even took the seal off. But I'm going to take and see about stripping all these down. Then I'm going to sand it. Don't be any Bondo or anything, just that. I'm going to sand it with my DA. Oh, This right here has been sitting on the shelf so long it's turned to gel. I don't know if that'll work, but we'll find out here in a minute. Let me get some of this on here. Let me shake it up. Wow. Things, I'll be honest with you people, things do have shelf lives. I bought this when I bought my house, when I had my house painted about 5-6 years ago. I bought this, so I needed to clean some stuff with it. And I never got around to using it. It's been sitting on the shelf. So, here we are. I'm going to take and try. There we go. I've never seen that before. Look at that. Turn to gel. Let's see what happens. I don't even know it's supposed to be gel. Actually, it says brushable semi-paste, so I think this was supposed to be that way. But it is working. Okay, that's probably what I should have done in the first place. Yeah. See that right there? It's getting down in the pores of that paper, getting that adhesive off that came from Amazon. Let's see. Alright. Alright, see right here? Whoop, there we go. I don't think. Got some paint line from where I took and did it. Alright. I will say I should have my gloves on, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So set the cross over here, and we'll take, I got to remember what button to hit now. Okay. Well, don't know what I'm doing here. One of these days I'll figure this out. Just stop. Okay. Well, this is now going to be another video that I'll have to splice in. But I got my gloves on. And I'll show you this. Turn this around here. Alright. Let's see. Woo! That burnt. Dang. I got some of that stuff on me and it burnt. But you can see it's coming off. I just got a regular scraper here. Scrape it off. There's probably a smart idea. So sometimes I don't have those to put these gloves on to protect my hands. For the simple fact, I touched it with my arm here, and somebody might wonder why I'm wearing sleeveless shirts out here. Well, to be quite honest with you, it's hot, and it's loose. Helps keep me cool. Whew, that right there is a little bit burny. So let's stop this for a second, and let's just hit this button right here. Boom. Alright, I'm back now. Had to get me a little water put on that premium epoxy paint stripper was starting to burn, which is unusual for me because I've taken hits so many times over the years, but boy, it sure works. It's stripping that off like a hot knife through butter. Yeah, buddy. put a little bit more on there. Whoop. All right, now I'm gonna pause this for a moment while I do this. Y'all don't want to watch me do this, so I'll be back in a minute. All right, I've been stripping this down. This stuff kind of reminds me of airplane stripper, paint stripper. Even though it says premium paint and epoxy remover. It's, once you let it sit on there, it takes the glue pretty good off. Just don't let it touch your skin. It's Jasco brand. I'm not exactly sure where I got it. Like I say, I've had it for about 5 years. But I figured I'd turn you back on, let you see how things are going, how it's progressing. Because then I have to wash this off and sand it. So you can see it's taking them right off. Well, like I was telling you before, you know, most time now I wear these shirts out here because it's just so much cooler. And I'm in the heat all week at work. You know, last 3 days, last week I put in 39 hours for 3 days work. So I was pretty tired. You get hot, so you want to try to stay cool when you get that hot all the time. That's why I got fans blowing. I got the AC over there, but I bought too small of an AC unit, so it doesn't really do strong enough to keep up with this. But that's neither here nor there. I just turned y'all back on so you can see what happened, what was happening. So I'm going to put you back on pause for a minute. Alright. Got most of it off. I still got to get the rest of the glue off. Why they put so much on a piece of metal, I don't know. But this is what I'm going to do. Finish stripping it down. Once I get it good stripped, get it washed off, then I'm going to take and sand it. I don't really smell a lot coming off of this stuff, so I'm not sure what fumes would do, but it doesn't really affect this garage much, because especially when the door's open and the amount of leaks or the amount of not sealedness in this place. It's a good garage, but it don't seal. Alrighty. This stuff reminds me of aircraft paint stripper. I think I said that a few minutes ago. I used that one time. Probably the stupidest thing I ever did, trying to remove paint from a car. But it worked, but it also took everything off. When you don't know what you're doing on a car or something like that, you know, you can cause more rust and problems than you deal with. But that's what experience gets you. So my experience tells me not do that again. And some of the things I say, I hope that you take with a grain of salt or a little bit. You know, you should always take, and people that have done something before you, take and pay a little attention to what they tell you. You know, especially your elders. Man's worked his whole life, and he's trying to tell you something good. Listen. Even if he's wrong, listen. The simple fact is, sometimes you learn more from somebody that is something's wrong than you do from something's right. You learn what not to do and what to do. Now, I've just about got most of this glue off. A little bit still on here. And I'm going to take, and I'm not worried about, I have to take it to rinse it off properly. I shouldn't say properly, without making a big mess. I take the hose to the other side of the house. I ain't going to do that. I'm going to take a couple bottles of water, rinse it onto this floor. And the simple fact is, it's just going to take and evaporate pretty quick. So, let me put you on pause, and I will be back. Alright. That was the boring stuff I was doing. This probably is too. I got my DA. I got me a 180 grit pad on it. And we're just going to give this a quick hit. Let me see if I can get this thing to stand up. It don't want to stand. That's what you get when you buy Chinese cameras and stuff. But I didn't know what I was going to be doing. And I still don't. It might be, you know, I might not finish anything with this. Alright, there we go. I've wiped her down, brake cleaned her, water. Now, I got my safety glasses on. That way, as you can see, keep my eyes protected. Because anything comes flying off here, if I've got anything on there, slag, I don't want it hitting my eyes. Alright, DA works. Let's see what happens. Now what I'm going for is just a good roughing it up to hold the paint. So I'm not trying to be, I want it to be strong, not strong, but smooth. But that's why I just stuck with 180. Because that'll hold it. This air compressor is go off in a minute. gonna fall as I'll finish this up. Alright. And here it is after a quick scuffing. Make sure I get stuff off of it. Use my DA. I got this regular Krylon bright white. We'll see what it does. I'm going to use this engine block that I'm building. Has paint booth a little bit, and then I'm going to take and probably do this side, and then I'll take and flip it around and do the other side. Hopefully I don't have any fish eyes or runs, but we're going to find out. And for anybody worried about the block, it's got to go to the machine shop anyways. Ain't nothing going to happen to it. Any paint on it will be stripped off from machining or hot tanking. So I always like to give a light coat. I don't have anything over the other side that it could really get mess up, so I'm not worried about that. Overspray or anything. I'm not putting out enough paint, or it probably won't be a problem. I have found the hardest thing about spraying white is getting snow blind. Not knowing where you left off and everything. I think that's looking a little better. I'll let that dry for a couple minutes and I'll flip it around and put a light coat on the other side. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I've turned it around to the back side, which you can determine which side is the back side, which is the front, across, so I'm not sure. I guess it's just whichever one you put out. I waited a few minutes. Now let it get a little tacky. Alright. I haven't put a lot on yet. Yeah, this block is going to get bored. 60 thousandths. Going to get decked. So any of this paint right here is going to get knocked off pretty much quickly and easily. But this is what I'm doing. So what do y'all think? I think it's turning out pretty good. I'm very proud of it. I know pride comes before the fall, but I was told to do this. I really believe that. And I'm not a good Christian. I'm not too judgmental. I like things too boisterous, too rowdy. And I don't go to church enough. But that's only because finding a good church is like finding a needle in a haystack. So, at least that's my opinion. But I'll be back here in a couple minutes. I'll show you some more. Thanks. Bye. Alright, y'all. It's been a few minutes. Let's put another coat on it. See what happens. Make sure you get the ends and the corners. great thing about paint, it'll flow in together. But got me a run. Remember how I said this was not perfect? So I probably will leave that. Otherwise, I will have to take and sand that down. Okay, there we go. Alright. Looks like I probably should have done a better job on the ends, prepping them. Another thing I'm doing here, people, is I'm practicing preparing things so that later on I can paint this old heaps next to me or the one outside. Because to be quite honest, I ain't got the money to pay somebody. If anybody's looked at the price on getting the car painted, that's expensive. That's why I'm sitting here working on them. Not in the least fact that I love them. I love working on them. Alright, let's see. Let's try turning this around. Get this side now. Alright, I think I might be alright. We'll find out. You always run a coat across and past where you want to be. I know you do that painting cars, so it seems to me pretty logical that this would be the same way. Now, there's only one place that has not gotten painted yet, and I will paint it the last. It doesn't have any paint on it. And that's on the very bottom. Because, well, because the cross is, as you can see, well, let me turn this around so I can see. The cross is standing on it. So, there it is. That's where I ground on it. She's looking pretty good, isn't she? I think she's going to look unbelievable on that wall up there. But anyways, I'll come back to you in a little bit. So while this paint dries. Alright, everybody. Look at that cross glow. Now I got to decide how I'm going to get it up there. I intend to put it up top there. So now I got to see what I got to do to get it up there. This is the cross. I have one place to paint, and that's down here, that plug where the bottom meets. But I will do that when it's completely dry. I will come back to you and let you know what's going on with it. I'll show you. That's going to be my intro. I might put it in a different spot. I just don't know if I'm gonna get up there on this one without really climbing, and I ain't no mountain goat. So let me put you on pause and let me just thinking. See ya. Be back in a minute. Alright, here's some more views of it. Side view. Top view. Well, she does glow, doesn't she? like the Lord himself. It's only been a couple minutes since I last talked to you on here. I thought you might like to see a little more to it. So let me put you on pause again, unless you just want to stay there and look at it, which I can't blame you. And I'm back. Well, everybody, let me take these glasses off. I'm going to take and shut this video down right now because I got to change batteries. Next time you see it, it will probably be when you tune in. It'll be if I can figure out how to make my intro, it'll be part of my intro. Otherwise, I'm thinking about where I can put it. I'm debating about whether to put it where I showed you earlier, which was up there, or right there in that corner. I'm debating that. Or I could put it over here, take that Super B picture down, thing down, put it over there. But that's probably not the best place. But anyways, I'm going to change the batteries out. I'll be back. And remember what I always say: love one another, be good, and just do what you can. Get out there, work on these cars. And this was my last thing to stop working on it. I haven't learned enough to make a living welding, but I've learned enough. I think I can get started on this car, welding the floorboards in. We shall see. If not, I'll call somebody to help me. No shame in that. No shame in my game. All I can say, handle your stuff. Take care of your stuff. I want to use another word, but I'm afraid it'll demonetize me if I ever get monetized. Handle your S. Just get her done. So I'll talk to you next time. I'll probably may add another video to this. So love you. Be good. And here we are. Bye.